Welcome to the presentation on the 2007 research on literacy and instruction and on learning in virtual, blended, and hybrid environments. In this research, we set out to discover the best practices for teaching literacy in a blended or hybrid environment and to provide recommendations for teaching reading and writing in an online environment. When we started our research for this project, we realized that research on this subject up to this point had been limited to traditional brick-and-mortar school settings, and that definitions of common terms often varied, making conversations on the subject of literacy education in online settings difficult. Definitions such as blended learning, virtual schools, and online learning. To make things easier, we created common definitions such as online learning, which is teacher-led education that takes place over the internet with teacher and student separated geographically using web-based education delivery systems that include software to provide a structured learning environment. The next definition we created was virtual school, which is an educational environment that offers K-12 courses through internet or web-based methods. The last definition is for blended or online learning, where a student learns part online, where the student has control over time, place, path, or pace, and part at school in a traditional brick and mortar experience. Two other concepts that need to be addressed in blended and online learning are asynchronous and synchronous. Asynchronous, students have control over time and pace because materials are given them in a not real-time environment, whereas synchronous mimics real-time through conversation, text, and audio chats. So what does it take to start being a successful blended and online teacher? The first thing teachers need is training in how to be an online or blended learning teacher, which is sometimes lacking in some school systems. But there are 4 skills that are essential to be a good online or hybrid teacher. Enhanced communication skills, time management skills, especially in an asynchronous environment, good teaching and planning, which is important in a synchronous environment, and the ability to differentiate. So now that we've gotten the basics out of the way, what about literacy in online and blended learning? Writing in an online and blended learning environment can be very beneficial. Writing is a recursive process, and using technology in an online learning environment can allow students. Writing in a traditional classroom can often seem isolating, with only the teacher as the reader and evaluator of the student's work. But in a digital environment, writing is given new life. Using technology, students can write for social media platforms, blogs, digital journals. This gives them new voice because they are writing to an authentic audience. Feedback is also influenced in the online environment because students are helped in the revision process through collaboration with peer review and with their teachers as well. It scaffolds them. The online and blended learning environment also lends itself to creating multimodal presentations which motivates writers and scaffolds their skills. This also helps students as they engage in vocabulary and verbal language development. But what about reading in the digital learning environment? It's not all about writing. Online environments are great for reading literacy because most of the text students come into contact with will also be multimodal. Not everything is perfect in the digital literacy world. Some young students have not had formal education in online text. Some online text may not be reliable, and some students may collaborate where they shouldn't. So, in order to avoid these potholes, students and teachers must be savvy. As more and more classrooms are becoming blended or online, we are also becoming more global, and it's important that students build all the knowledge, skills, and dispositions they will need as they encounter online. Digital literacy is considered the skill required for the web, which is this generation's defining technology for literacy. Literacy is one of the foundational skills next to the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. There are 3 major cornerstones of web literacy. 1. Read, media literacy. 2. Write, content construction. And 3. Participate, online collaborative inquiry. Using digital literacy for English learners is a wonderful tool because it helps them learn digital literacy while also learning English vocabulary without the necessary modifications from peers and teachers. So after all we've learned, what's next for literacy in the digital world? Well, the subject of literacy in the digital world is still in its infancy, but educators looking to advance in this field in their classroom should look at digital content as just another text and look to resources in the subject for support, such as this chapter. These 2 sources, the Blended Learning Toolkit at this website and Hybrid Pedagogy at this website. Online and blended learning literacy is not a new concept, even though it is not fully researched. Teaching literacy in the digital world is necessary, and it's a necessary skill in life as we move forward in a digital world.